The entire week leading to WrestleMania 37 is filled with events, and it all kicked off with tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Before they do battle for the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley both had singles matches against somebody they have had run ins with recently. The Scottish Warrior took on King Corbin from SmackDown, and the Almighty faced his former Hurt Business associate Cedric Alexander. The New Day will defend the Raw tag titles against AJ Styles and Omos this Saturday. So WWE booked a rematch between the Phenomenal One and Xavier Woods for tonight's show. We also saw future opponents Asuka and Rhea Ripley team up to face the women's tag team champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler in a non-title bout. Tonight, we look at everything that happened on the Go Home episode of Raw heading into WrestleMania this weekend. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. Happy WrestleMania week, everybody. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher, the phenom Michael Bullock, fresh off another one of our legendary Raw chats. And the only bit of bad news I have is that our first lady of the Wrestling Forum, the Twisted Angel, Dee Dee Woodson, will not be joining us this weekend. Will not be joining us this evening due to personal reasons. We hope to have her back on Friday night as part of our huge Cerebral Smack Talk. But for right now, fellas, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this. Tonight, we will review only the relevant stuff when it comes to this go-home edition of Monday Night Raw for WrestleMania. Of course, cutouts, we will not dignify any of those at all. And then from there, as a special bonus, and because this is WrestleMania week, there will be no Tony's Take. However, we're going to do something very special, and that is we are going to preview NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, the two-night event that goes down this Wednesday and Thursday night. But for right now, let's start off with Monday Night Raw, this go-home show for WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre, he comes out, he cuts a fantastic promo. He gets interrupted by Bobby Lashley, and then also gets interrupted by his opponent, King Corbin. Thankfully, he kept it short and sweet. So this was a decent promo segment, but it didn't have the sense of urgency that is needed for the final show before WrestleMania. McIntyre and Lashley were good with the delivery of their lines, but Corbin slowed things down. His presence wasn't necessary. In fact, his short speech would have been more effective if it was delivered backstage during an interview. This segment didn't cover any new ground or make the match between Lashley and McIntyre any more interesting. It was kind of bland, but the people involved did a good job with what they had. So, fellas, if it's okay, I'm just going to bypass this one. So I'm just going to bypass this this segment here. Matter of fact, I'm going to be doing quite a bit of bypassing here because it then led into a match with the phenomenal AJ Styles squaring off against Xavier Woods of the New Day. And Xavier Woods wins the match in 1 minute and 20 seconds. Dud, short match that didn't do anything to make this feud more exciting. But what we did get to see was entertaining. Woods and Styles only had time to hit a few moves, but each one looked great. The stuff with Omos and Kingston was contrived and still managed to be entertaining. Was this necessary? No. Was it good? Maybe. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Braun Strowman then went up against Elias and Jackson Riker, 2-on-1 handicap match. Strowman wins in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah, another dud here. The promo from Strowman might not have made a ton of sense, but he delivered it with more heart than expected. He was convincing and did more to make this match matter than all of the previous moments he has had with McMahon combined. The match that followed was as predictable as it gets. McMahon stacked the odds against Strowman, but he still came out on top like we all knew he would. Elias and Riker looked good for the few seconds they had the upper hand. Even though this whole segment was average at best, it was still the best thing we have seen during this feud. And at WrestleMania, Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon will go one-on-one inside the confines of a 15-foot high steel temper cage. And only the second pure steel cage match in WrestleMania history. The other, you got to go all the way back to WrestleMania 2 when Hulk Hogan defended the then World Wrestling Federation Championship against King Kong Bundy in the main event in Los Angeles. We'll get into that on Friday night. But now we finally have something relevant here. The women's tag team champions, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, with Reginald, a.k.a. James Ellsworth 2.0, against Rhea Ripley and the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka. Non-title match, of course. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, they win the match in an even 12 minutes because of the fact that Rhea Ripley, no big surprise, turned on Asuka and did a number on her. All right, now this is where the show started to peak here after a disastrous first hour. This was a solid match with a logical outcome for everybody. Ripley and Asuka shouldn't be getting along, and WWE made sure they were enemies by the time this was over. Ripley costing her own team the match helped push her storyline and keep the women's tag champs looking strong with a win at the same time. Two birds with one stone. WWE also announced a 4-team tag team turmoil match for night 1 of WrestleMania, featuring Lana and Naomi, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke from Raw, along with the Riot Squad and Natalya and Tamina from Friday Night SmackDown. The winners of that match will earn a women's tag team title opportunity against Jax and Baszler on night 2. As far as the match goes, I'm going to give it a solid 3 stars for the effort. So not much more to say. MF, finally something relevant to get into here. The tag champs go over. Rhea Ripley. Oh, boy. And it was also announced that, you know that theme song, the This Is My Brutality? The young lady who performs it is going to play Rhea Ripley to the ring with that very song this Sunday at WrestleMania. We're going to get a live performance of that. So Rhea's going to get played to the ring by Ash Costello. That's the young lady's name. So we're going to get a live performance of Rhea's theme on Sunday night, and that's going to be all kinds of epic.
Oh, dude.
So how about it?
Yeah, no, it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. The excitement level for WrestleMania is going sky high. As you know, unfortunately, I know WWE did not want the photos or anything to get leaked, but here's the thing. When you're in an open-air stadium, and nowadays with technology, especially drones, unfortunately, WWE, there's nothing you can really do. You're at the mercy of a stadium. And unfortunately, some of the photos and some of the videos been leaked of the stage. It looks amazing. Don't worry, guys. It's going to be an incredible show. Look, like you said, we needed some heat. We needed a rivalry. You knew it wasn't going to last much long. So, yes, Jax and Baszler does get a win. Good momentum for them for night 2 of WrestleMania. But everybody's talking about Asuka and Rhea Ripley. Can Rhea do it? Can she be the one to get her WrestleMania moment back? Remember, a year ago, a lot of people thought that it should have been her moment when she went up against Charlotte Flair. And that a lot of people thought that it was going to be a passing of the torch moment. And it wasn't. Charlotte ended up walking out with the NXT title. Now, Rhea Ripley comes to WrestleMania, goes to Raymond James Stadium on I believe, Sunday night with a chance to walk away the Raw Women's Champion, taking down the Empress of Tomorrow, taking down Asuka, who I think a lot of people may believe, or you are probably going to say, who hasn't gotten her WrestleMania moment yet either. we're just gonna have to wait and see how this plays out. This is gonna be one heck of a match, no doubt about it. Yeah, it was relevant to the point because it served purpose on two factors: the WWE Women's Title, tag team titles, I should say, and the Raw Women's Title. Check on both fronts. We'll see how it plays out this weekend, but it's going to be interesting. Bullock, it's yours. I'll probably say like at least 2.5 to 3.
Yeah, I'll give it about a 3 for the effort here, but I think we all knew the outcome of this this match. I mean, we knew at some point the team of Asuka and Rhea Ripley were going to implode, and Rhea was the one who made it happen by turning on the team, and yeah, basically her telling Asuka it's all about the women's championship at WrestleMania. And yeah, I mean, and that's an interesting point you made, Fletch. I mean, both of these women had that. I mean, they should have their WrestleMania moment, but in my honest opinion, it should be Rhea Ripley as far as I'm concerned because of the fact of what happened last year. Because, and like you said, many people said that she should have had a WrestleMania moment, but it didn't happen. It went to Charlotte Flair. So, could it happen? We'll have to wait and see. So, 3 stars on the match. Florio, it is yours.
All right. Then from there, we had Cedric Alexander squaring off against Bobby Lashley. And Bobby Lashley wins the match 10 minutes and 20 seconds with the Hurt Lock, MF. Cedric put up a good fight, but the almighty champion, just too much for the former Cruiserweight champion of the world. MF, are you there?
I'm sorry. So what were we talking about?
Bobby Lashley defeating Cedric Alexander 10 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, solid match, but it was a necessary outcome, at least in my eyes. Look, when it comes to the Lashley situation, that was solid. It was good. It was an okay battle, but at the end of the day, the right decision and the right outcome happened. You need Bobby Lashley to look good. You need Bobby Lashley to be powerful and the almighty as he's going into a championship match against Drew McIntyre. So, yeah, I mean, and Cedric is a guy who can easily give you a great match. So, this was at least a solid 2.5 to 3 again. Really nothing more to add. So, yeah, Mike Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'll give it about 2.5 to 3 for the effort here. I mean, yeah, like you said, Cedric Alexander, he put up a good fight, but like you said, in the end, it was the almighty Bobby Lashley who proved to be too much. So yeah, you want to make him look strong going into that match against Drew McIntyre on Sunday. So or Saturday, I should say. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. And Florio, before I give it to you, a quick update. It's 86-67, Baylor over Gonzaga with just under a minute to go, and it looks like the Baylor Bears are on their way to capturing the national championship. So, Florio, it is yours.
Oh, a well-deserved. That's all there is to say on that. But we will get into that come the April 15th edition of Strictly Sports. No show this week because of WrestleMania week. But anyways, Lashley has 2 different feuds going right now, and he has managed to make both of them seem important. He has his storyline with McIntyre while still dealing with his former Hurt Business associates. Alexander and Lashley look good together. Even though Lashley looked like a monster, Alexander was able to get in enough offense to keep himself from looking like a jobber. This was a strong segment for all four men. It's just too bad we don't get to see them as a stable anymore. So I agree. I'll give this another 3-star effort. And I'm just gonna wait for a moment here. Just let it run down. MF, come on in. I think you got a little business to take care of.
For the first time in their school history, the Baylor Bears are the national champions. Baylor wins the Final Four, 86-70 over Gonzaga. The number 1 overall falls. The number 2 rises to number 1. They are your national champions for 2020. Anthony, it's yours.
Final score, 86-70. Baylor defeats Gonzaga, wins their first ever national championship. And for the first time since 2008, gentlemen, the national championship will reside in the Big 12. So there you go. Congratulations to Coach Scott Drew and the Baylor Bears. First ever national championship. Well deserved. And going into that, we thought, when we did our selection show last month, we thought Baylor was in the group of death. We thought that it was going to be impossible for them to get out of it. But not only did they get out of it, they went all the damn way. Unbelievable. We'll address that more on the April 15th edition of Strictly Sports. But anyways, back to the business at hand. Bad Bunny. Then we had another in-ring segment. We had Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Now, Bad Bunny arrived at Raw tonight in a $3.6 million Bugatti, along with Damian Priest. The Miz and John Morrison, they crapped all over it. They painted all over it. And then from there, and then they attacked back Bunny, and from there, it led to Bad Bunny and Damian Priest coming out, and Damian Priest being as upset as he was. Now, this initially was supposed to be a singles match between The Miz and Bad Bunny, but because of what happened, we thought there was an injury. Morrison or somebody was injured, but apparently that's not the case anymore, because now we are going to have a tag team match instead. It'll be Bad Bunny and Damian Priest teaming up to take on The Miz and John Morrison. And I got to admit, Bad Bunny, he cut a halfway decent promo here, even though most of it was in Spanish and I couldn't understand it. That's why I'm glad we have MF, because I know MF could easily translate what he said, I'm sure. But man, solid promo work from Bad Bunny. I'll give him credit where credit is due. But no longer a singles match, fellas. It's going to be a tag team match. It's going to be Priest with Bad Bunny against Miz and Morrison. But then again, we kind of had a feeling this was going to go down.
But you have to believe, Florio, that this is the right decision.
Agreed.
After all, Damian Priest and John Morrison deserves to be in the match. Yes. Damian Priest deserves a WrestleMania moment. And the thing is, I think Bad Bunny's gonna surprise a lot of people, because from what I've been told, Bad Bunny is not going in here cold. He's been practicing, working out in the WWE Performance Center for the last 5 months. So he's actually been training, getting ready for this moment for the last 5 months prior to WrestleMania. So maybe we might be in for a major surprise at WrestleMania. I mean, I honestly think we might be in for another Pat McAfee type moment at WrestleMania. So that's all I'm just saying, Florio. Just be prepared is what I'm saying. Because a lot of people thought McAfee wasn't going to do much, and he damn near gave us a 4-star fight with Adam Cole.
Last August at TakeOver 30. Yes.
Yeah. So
SummerSlam weekend last year. Absolutely.
And that's what I've been told from a few dirt sheets and everything else, and actually from Bad Bunny's reps. They were saying that, oh no, he's taking this match seriously. And that actually they came up to him, told him, we want you to be training for you know what? We want you at WrestleMania. How would you like to be in a match? And actually his reps were like, all right, and they actually fronted him training at the Performance Center 5 months ago. So this was already in the cards about 5 months ago. So guys, I'm telling you, we might be in for a shocking performance by Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. That's all I'm saying.
Very good. So we'll wait and see on that. So now we move on to our next match of the night. Non-title match. United States Heavyweight Champion Riddle, one-on-one against Mustafa Ali. Riddle wins the match in 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Michael Bullock, I believe this goes to you here. Riddle defeats Ali 10:35. Hit me with it. You know you wanna.
Bro.
Doesn't that sound so much like the real thing? Wow.
Yeah, you could definitely. Yep. Yeah. So, this was a solid match here. I'll give it about another 3, maybe even 3.25. I mean, these two can definitely put on a good match, and this is definitely what they did. And having Riddle go over is the right decision because you want to give him some momentum going into his United States title fight against Sheamus at WrestleMania. So, so I enjoyed it. So there's nothing more to say. Florio, it is yours.
Yeah. 3 to 3.25 stars. I agree with the rating. We need to address how WWE added a graphic of birds appearing to fly out of Riddle's butt as he kicked off his sandals. But anyways, Ali and Riddle have good chemistry and were given enough time to put on an enjoyable performance. Ultimately, Sheamus being there had no impact on the outcome. But 3 to 3.25 star match. MF, nice momentum building win for Riddle as he prepares for his toughest bout to date as he defends the U.S. title against Sheamus at WrestleMania on Sunday night. All right. MF, I think we had another miscommunication moment there. I'm sorry about that. But Riddle defeats Mustafa Ali 10:35. Nice momentum boost for him as he defends the U.S. title against Sheamus on Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I really feel for Mustafa Ali right now because I feel like they really messed him up. Storyline-wise, the setup, everything has been wrong. And don't get me wrong, I do like Riddle, but going up against a guy like Sheamus at WrestleMania, U.S. title on the line, there hasn't been that much of a storyline between these two going in. This kind of feels like a randomly thrown title match at WrestleMania, which I don't know. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, right thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I just feel like right now, it's going to be a good match. It's going to be a good title battle. I think with the way that Sheamus has been booked, especially during his war with Drew McIntyre in the last few months, I think we might have a new U.S. champion. I think we're going to have a new United States heavyweight champion at WrestleMania. That's just me personally. As far as the match goes, I could say about at least 2.5, 2 3/4, maybe our heartbeat close to 3. It was decent. It was good. Nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
Yeah. And now we go into the main event of the evening. Drew McIntyre squaring off against King Corbin, a little Raw versus SmackDown flavor here. Drew McIntyre wins the match in an even 18 minutes. I'll tell you what, I never thought I'd say this, but fight of the night. Who would have thunk that Drew McIntyre would carry someone as meh as Corbin and carry him to a halfway decent fight? I mean, not the greatest by any means, but still, I mean, Corbin is a big guy who always tends to work best when he is in the ring with somebody of equal size. So it's easy to see why this ended up being a decent fight. Like I said, it wasn't great by any means, but it did highlight both men's strengths and gave Corbin something to do since he doesn't have his own WrestleMania feud. MVP being on commentary helped sell why this was taking place. He wanted Corbin to take out McIntyre so Lashley would have an easy challenge beating the King at WrestleMania. It was thin, but MVP made it work. But I will call this the fight of the night here because this had the feel of a man fight. I'm going to give this about 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. So not much more to say here. MF, leave it to Drew McIntyre to carry someone as blech as Corbin and actually carry him to a halfway decent fight. Fight of the night, 3.5, 3 3/4.
Yeah, 3.5, 3 3/4. No doubt about it. It was a great main event. But it got what it needed it to be. McIntyre winning the match, getting more momentum, heading to the big fight on night one of WrestleMania for the title. I mean, there's really nothing more to add. This is the moment that you waited for. This is the battle. This is the war. And look, Corbin, like you said, whenever he's with a smaller guy, not really that great. Now they got somebody with his own size, his own strength, his own everything. And look at the battle. Look at how it turned out. This was a heck of a fight. This was a heck of a battle. Does anybody know what that means down the line? I don't know. But one thing's for sure, they did a pretty damn good job with it. So nothing more to add. And yeah, Mike Bullock, if there's any doubt with Drew McIntyre heading to the main event of night one, because it sounds like a lot of people have been debating about who's going to get the night one start. Apparently, from what I'm hearing, it's well, you reported it, Bullock. It will be McIntyre versus Lashley, the main event, night one of WrestleMania.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, this is it's definitely a momentum booster for Drew McIntyre going into the main event of night one of WrestleMania. Yeah, and yeah, who would have thunk that this would be a fight of the night candidate, or the fight of the night, I should say. I mean, especially against somebody like King Corbin, but only someone like Drew McIntyre can put someone like Corbin over. So, yeah, definitely a very good momentum booster for McIntyre because he's going to be going up against a gamed, almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. So, there's really nothing more to say. Florio, let's quickly get into our overall thoughts, then get into our takeover preview.
And good old MF, Michael Fletcher, you started off your overall thoughts on this go-home show. I mean, very bad start, but it definitely picked up right around second hour or so.
Second hour it picked up. Third hour was solid. And it was everything that you wanted the show to be. You know, look, it had its faults, no doubt about it. It definitely slipped on a banana peel or two at the beginning. But it came back. It rode strong, took a wave, and ended with a great night. It ended with a decent night. I'll give this at least 6.5. I mean, this was a good show. I mean, look, not every go-home show is going to be the best. Not every go-home show is going to be great. But at the end of the night, going in, and, you know, a lot of people knows this is the final push from Monday Night Raw. Going to WrestleMania. Nothing stops it now. For all the Raw talent, they're all heading to Tampa Bay now. They're all heading to Raymond James. They're going to make that short trip. I don't think it's that long. I think it's like maybe a few hours that they got to go from Orlando to Tampa. So it's only just a few hours. So they'll get there. They'll be ready. They'll be prepared. They're going to have everything lined up. And it's going to be one heck of a WrestleMania for them. There's a lot of good matches lined up on the Raw side. And, at least for tonight, yeah, 6 out of 10 for me. So nothing more to say. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, this was a 6 out of 10 for me as well. I mean, it was solid. Was it the greatest? Absolutely not. But yeah, the first hour was that, but the final 2 hours did pick up, and definitely definitely makes this a passable show as far as I'm concerned. So 6 out of 10. Florio, quickly your thought, and then it's takeover preview time.
Yes, sir. And 6.5 for me. I mean, like it's been said, the first hour was a disaster. A lot with the way the first hour was, I thought for sure we were on our way to another dumpster fire show like we had a week ago. But then the second hour really picked it up, and then the last 2 hours were really good. Good 3 to 4 quality matches. I never thought I'd hear myself say the words King Corbin and Fight of the Night in the same sentence. I never ever thought I'd hear myself say that. But then again, look who he was in there with, Drew McIntyre, and he carried him. He literally made him look good tonight. So you guys have pretty much touched on everything else. 6 to 6.5. And for the final episode of Raw before Mania, it was kind of lackluster. And hopefully this weekend gives us a show that is better than the build up to it. So that's really all there is to say on that. For the Raw side of WrestleMania, Lashley and McIntyre, of course, for the title. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest against Miz and Morrison. New Day against AJ and Omos for the tag titles. Strowman and Shane in the cage. That tag team turmoil match, that's more of an interpromotional thing. But we got Dana and Mandy along with Lana and Naomi representing Raw. So we'll see how that goes. And then Sunday, Asuka, Rhea Ripley, Raw Women's title. Fiend, Randy Orton. Riddle and Sheamus for the U.S. title. And Jackson Baszler against whoever comes out of the tag team turmoil, which I believe, as of now, is Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. But we'll get into that Friday night. So that's it. 6.5. Normally we would have a Tony's take, but not on this night. Because what we're going to do, we are going to give our preview of TakeOver Stand and Deliver. So without any further ado, gentlemen, here we go. Let's dive right on into this thing. It starts on Wednesday night on the USA Network. It'll be simulcast on both the USA Network and Peacock. And then on Thursday night, it will be exclusive to Peacock only. So if you want to see night 2, get Peacock. It has shaped up to be one of the most anticipated TakeOver events in a very long time. The 2-night showcase has matched that fans are clamoring to see, and it is hard to pick which night will outshine the other. We're looking forward to both events, and we start with night 1, and I'm going to go in the order that I have it on my notes. So we're going to start it off with Pete Dunne versus Kushida, and obviously it's the most recent match added, but it's immediately one of the most interesting. When matches have intricate storylines and build, they become more interesting. But there is something to be said about a sudden pairing between 2 men or women that are at the top of their game. That's exactly where this match between Dunne and Kushida stands. This should start a category of matches, NBN or no build necessary, because these 2 men are going to put on a show even if the story is not there. Some fans may enjoy fast-paced, high-flying wrestling, while others like big, meaty men slapping meat. But Kushida, Dunne, neither of those. Instead, it will be a technical showcase between two of the better grapplers on the WWE roster. As for the winner, Dunn is the individual with momentum behind him. Kushida was on the rise, but his loss to Gargano at TakeOver Vengeance Day put a halt to that. Dunn has a win over Finn Balor, and while he has not been mentioned in the title picture since the expectation is that he will continue to be billed as a high-level threat, expect a lot of back-and-forth grappling with holds that will make everyone cringe, but in the end, it's Pete Dunne who comes out with the win. So I'm going with Pete Dunne to beat Kushida. MF, this is an MF special. These are two of your boys right here. Pete Dunne and Kushida, MF special.
Absolutely an MS special. This will be one heck of a match, no doubt about it. I'm a big fan of Kushida. I'm a big fan of Pete Dunne as well. It's going to be a great match, no doubt about it. I think it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great battle. Yeah, and I think at the end of the night, it will be Pete Dunne beating Kushida. I just feel like that's the right decision. Nothing more to say. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pete Dunne to win this one as well. I mean, I think this is definitely going to be a good match here. No doubt about it with the work of these two, but I just think Pete Dunne is much better here. So I got him winning this one. So Florio, let's move on.
Triple threat match for the vacated NXT Tag Team Championship. MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans versus Legado del Fantasma. MF, who's going to lay claim to the NXT Tag Team titles now that Lorcan and Burch had to vacate due to injury?
I think it's MSK's time. This is MSK's moment. Look, day one, the Grizzled Young Veterans won the Dusty Classic, which I think a lot of people were shocked that it was them. Actually, no, it was MSK that won it. So, I'm sorry, MSK won the Dusty Classic. And if you remember, that should have in turn gave them a guaranteed title shot at the NXT Tag Team titles. So at the end of the day, they were supposed to be the ones to win it all. They were supposed to be the ones to get the belt. So for me, there's no argument. There's no nothing here. Winners and undisputed NXT World Tag Team Champions, MSK. Bullock is yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with MSK as well because look, this is their time. I mean, with what we've seen from them, and plus, they were originally supposed to get the shot at the tag team titles, but because of what the Grizzled Young Vets did to them and took them out of it, so I think now's the time for them to get their moment, and I think they will. So the winners and undisputed NXT Tag Team Champions, MSK, Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, the tag team division is set for a rise. After the Dusty Classic, it looked like the division was set for a rebirth with the intention to push back to the days of American Alpha, DIY, The Revival, and more. The unfortunate injury to Danny Burch forced him and Oney Lorcan to vacate the titles, setting up this match with three of the best teams available on the brand right now. Any of these teams could come out of this match with the belts around their waist. It seemed like MSK was set for the big time after winning the Dusty Cup. The injury to Wes Lee put a halt on that, and they were pushed back into a feud with GYV. Legado, on the other hand, was not really seen in the title picture after being bounced out of the Dusty Cup, instead focusing on helping Santos Escobar keep the Cruiserweight title around his waist. This should be expected to be a super fast-paced bout with so many highlight reel moments. MSK should be the favorites coming into the match, but there is something impactful about having the babyfaces chasing after the heels that makes tag team wrestling work. Expect the Grizzled Young Veterans to show exactly why they are that and get the titles around their waist, setting off what should be a captivating feud with MSK for the months to come. As much as I would love to see MSK get it, I just got this feeling about GYV. So my winners and new tag team champions of NXT, the Grizzled Young Veterans. All right. The 6-man gauntlet eliminator match. Leon Ruff versus Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes versus Dexter Loomis versus LA Knight. Michael Bullock, the winner, gets to face Johnny Gargano for the North American title on night 2. So who's going to get that honor, Michael Bullock?
I think it's going to be Dexter Lumis who comes out of this, the winner, and that he's going to be the one to face Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. Because with the way things are going with these two individuals, I think they're destined to face off for the North American Championship. So I got Dexter Lumis winning this. Florio, it is yours.
Yeah. The rules for this bout are a bit hard to explain, but it's setting up a new contender to face Gargano for the North American title on night 2. At first glance, Dexter Lumis seems to be the top name to come out of this bout. He and Gargano have been involved in a storyline for months, and WWE creative as an affinity for the odd character. Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott are embroiled in their own feud, which will probably continue after this. The same could be said for Bronson Reed and LA Knight. Cameron Grimes, while a hilariously over character, does not seem to be the right fit to take the title off Gargano at this time, which leaves Lumis as the top pick to come out of this match and face Johnny Wrestling the next night. I agree with you, Bullock. I got Dexter Lumis, MF, unanimous.
Yeah, agreed. I think this is a collision course for Dexter and Johnny to be facing off on night 2.
All right. Next up, for the NXT UK Championship, Walter defending against Tommaso Old Man Ciampa. Ladies and gentlemen, put the faint of heart away before this match starts. NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver will have its mix of technical and high-flying wrestling, but the match between Walter and Tommaso Ciampa will be of one kind: violence. Hard-hitting, smash-mouth, physical, be-a-man horse fight. Perfect scenario to introduce Walter to the NXT audience. While many wrestling fans recognize him and his importance across the independent scene, he still has not been booked as the monster heel that he's known to be. Just look at how he was treated during Survivor Series 2 years ago as an example of such. Bringing him over to NXT after its elevation to the USA Network and giving him this match against Ciampa is the right way to let everyone know that the ring general is here. The real ring general is here. Expect this to be a hard-hitting affair from the very start. Ciampa's going to put up a crazy fight, but he's going to be pseudo-squashed, just like he was when he faced Karrion Kross before he rose to the NXT title. Walter and Imperium are positioned to be the next big group of heels to terrorize NXT for an extended period, and this run starts with Walter beating the mess out of the brand's resident psycho killer. Winner and still the longest reigning NXT United Kingdom champion of all time, Walter. MF, I see the 2-year run of Walter continuing past this event.
Yeah, no, this is going to be Walter's moment to shine, and he's going to win. It would make no sense for Tommaso Ciampa to be the United Kingdom champion. Look, right now, you don't know with the travel restrictions and everything else. And if it was any other guy from the UK, like a Joe Coffey, a Mark Coffey, Tyler Bate, one of the guys that I know from like the ICW or from Progress that you see that actually you can now see on the WWE Network on Peacock because now they're showing those programs. Like I just saw Fear and Loathing from ICW from last year, from a couple of years ago. And there's a lot of good stuff that they got. So it really now becomes that type of a situation. But no, I mean, at the end of the day, if Walter does not walk out of here with this belt, I'm shocked. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be a hard-hitting fight. It's going to be a one of those type of battles. But to me, Walter has to win this because, again, there'd be no reason for that to happen. So nothing more to say. Mike Bullock, it's yours. I got Walter as well.
And I'm going to make it unanimous. I got Walter retaining the UK title here. I mean, yeah, this is definitely going to be a hard-hitting smash mouth match between these two guys here. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to add to it. Let's move on, Florio.
All right. And the main event of night 1 for the NXT Women's Championship. Io Shirai defends against Raquel Gonzalez. MF, does Io's magnificent run continue, or is there a new sheriff in town?
I think there's a new sheriff. I think we're going to have a new champion. Everything that has happened has been setting up for Raquel Gonzalez to become the next NXT champion. Io has held the belt long enough. She won it at In Your House in a legendary triple threat by beating the likes of Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Her legacy was already confirmed. What she did was unbelievable. Now it's time for one of the most dominant women in NXT right now, ever since possibly Shayna Baszler, has took NXT by storm and to do what she has done. And now they're grooming her to be the next NXT Women's Champion. I think the genius in the sky is going to fall here at Stand and Deliver on night 1. And I do believe there's a dawning of a new era, a dawning of new dominance in NXT Women's Division. Her name is Raquel Gonzalez, and I'm going to pull the trigger. The winner of the bout and new NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm with Fletch on this one. I think it's the dawning of a new era. I think the era of the genius of the sky is going to fall, and the era of Raquel Gonzalez is going to begin. So I'm with Fletch here. The winner of this match and new NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez. Florio, are we going to make it unanimous?
You damn right we're going to make it unanimous. The booking around Io Shirai and Raquel Gonzalez was not the best, as it should have picked up immediately after Gonzalez pinned Shirai back in December at TakeOver War Games. Now that we are finally at the pairing of these two ladies in a singles bout, this is the big women's contest that the NXT Women's Division is needed. Shirai has been built up as an uber tough champion. During this run, she has picked up wins over the likes of Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Shotzi Blackheart, Mercedes Martinez, Toni Storm, Charlotte Flair, and anyone else who has stepped in her way. But the feeling behind that build is that it was set in place to give the rub over to Gonzalez when the time is right. The time is now. Gonzalez can be the next big heel to dominate over the NXT Women's Division. With a new crop of women being added to the already deep NXT Women's Division, she is the exact final boss that could be always a serious threat. As for Shirai, it is a dangerous proposition, but she could be needed on the main roster to help rebuild the women's division there. While the move does not need to be immediate, and it is a scary proposition, she has done all that is available for her to do in NXT. Winner and new NXT Women's Champion Raquel Gonzalez. This first night is stacked to the gills. It has a match for every type of wrestling fan. This is the takeover that can help build interest as the show moves to Tuesday starting next week, hopefully helping the brand return to what it was just a few short years ago. So there's that. Now we're going to move over to night 2. And we are going to start it off with the battle for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. The champions, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, defending against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell of The Way. Michael Bullock, started off with you here. Who's walking out with the women's tag team titles?
I think it's going to be Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon that are going to still walk out as the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. I mean, I like what I've seen from them, especially since they captured the titles from Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I mean, I'm sure Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae will put up a good effort, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. So, winner and still NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. Florio, it is yours.
Yeah, tough match to look forward to due to the booking that has been done around the women's tag division. The women's tag titles were an opportunity to elevate the talent across the WWE brands, the WWE women's tag titles. But instead, it became another issue within the booking of the women's division. Introducing the women's tag titles in NXT doesn't really help the situation, but at least it creates another chance to feature the women, as this division is very deep with talent, as it is the best in the world. Moon and Blackheart are already facing individuals they have defeated in the past, but LeRae and Hartwell are an intriguing team, and LeRae is seen as one of the best workers in the WWE, and it has been a shame that she has not had a title placed around her waist. Hartwell has improved considerably under the tutelage of LeRae and Gargano, looking better each time she's in the ring. Moon and Blackheart seem best positioned as individual competitors, chasing after someone like Raquel Gonzalez, which supports the idea of them losing the belts to LeRae and Hartwell in this match. So, winners and new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. I think it's time for Candice to get a title. What do you say to that, MF?
I agree. I actually agree with you, Florio. I'm sorry, Mike Bullock. I think we're going to have new tag team champions. I think it's going to be the way. They basically they want to make them a very powerful stable. No doubt about it. Yeah, there is a little campy comedy with them a little bit, but at the end of the day, I gotta say it. Winners and new tag team champions. Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae representing the way. I think they're gonna win the belts. So
and you know what it means, guys? Since I'm the only one.
Do it!
Ow!
Yes! 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 I've been waiting for that all night. Let's go. Florio, it's now yours.
Happy WrestleMania week, everybody. That's all there is to say on that. Now to the match that, no question about it, it's going to steal the damn show. Unsanctioned match, Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. This is the match that everybody knew was coming, and it's finally here. As O'Reilly was slowly being elevated into the main event picture, everyone was waiting for the moment that Adam Cole would turn on him. As members of the Undisputed Era, they ruled over NXT, but that is long behind them. Now this implosion feels as emotional as the Mega Powers falling apart, Bret and Owen Hart fighting, or even the destruction of the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. In fact, it feels even more impactful, as if there is more on the line that could ever be embodied in a title. This will be an excellent wrestling match. Cole and O'Reilly are great technicians in the ring. Cole has the bigger personality of the two, but do not sleep on O'Reilly's character work, which should also shine in this bout. The match is going to see multiple changes in pace, from grappling to quick counters and probably some high-risk maneuvers as well. This match is going to have it all. While Kyle O'Reilly should get the win, do not think this feud will be over with one match, as they will continue to battle for months to come. My winner of this match, Kyle O'Reilly. MF, this is your special right here. We're going to be calling the CWC Performance Center security, because these two boys are going to steal the dang show, just like HBK and Triple H did at SummerSlam 02.
I'm just going to say this. It goes without saying. Non-sanctioned matches always turns out to be amazing. Shawn and Triple H, SummerSlam. And if you're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. AEW, Dr. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. This has the makings of surpassing NXT as the greatest match in the history of the company. Like, I'm calling it right now. This has easily a 5-star potential going in. If this doesn't get 5, we are going to be thoroughly disappointed. Without a doubt, this match is going to be the best match of the entire WrestleMania week. I'm calling it. I think this one will be the one that we will remember for a very long time, and this could be the match that could be better than anything from this entire WrestleMania week. O'Reilly versus Cole has been brewing for a little bit, and the way that they set this up is without a doubt, it is going to be a war. Blood is necessary in this. And I know it's a PG era and you don't want to get blood. Blood is wanted. We want blood. We want to see gore. We want to see Crimson Mask. We want to see these two get destroyed. Take years off their life. I'm sorry. Britt Baker set the bar pretty damn high. As the man of the house, Adam, you better bring it. Because your little wifey tore the house down in the last sanction match. You need to go up and over and beyond that. Just to prove that, hey, I'm the leader of this household. Just to prove a point. Britt tore it. You got to go one step further, bro. Everything on the line and destroy. CWC ain't going to hold these two. No hell. No way in hell. The CWC should hold these two. This should go all over the damn place. And I want it to. So, just like how McIntyre and Sheamus had a moment where they broke the Thunderdome, I would go marking out if these guys destroy the CWC. Go for it. Just go for it. Do not hold back. So, oh man, I'm gonna go with Kyle O'Reilly as well. Nothing more to say. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm with you guys here. I got Kyle O'Reilly winning this one as well, but man, oh man, this is gonna, like you said, I think this is gonna be the best match of the entire WrestleMania week. I mean, the way they've been building this feud, it's been spot on. It's so damn personal to the point that, I mean, we saw the security camera where Adam Cole invaded a looked like some kind of it looked like a gym or something, and he went after Kyle O'Reilly and they brawled there. If this is not if that's not a sign of how damn personal this is, I don't know what the hell is. I mean, I think we're going to see blood. I think we're going to see them wrestle all throughout the CWC. I mean, the CWC may not be able to hold these two. So, yeah, I'll be shocked if this doesn't get a 5-star rating. So, but in the end, I got Kyle O'Reilly winning this one. Florio, it is yours.
All right, 3 matches left. And next up, the North American Championship. We, as a consensus, feel it will be Johnny Gargano versus Dexter Lumis. MF, does Gargano keep the North American Championship? Or are we going to have this lunatic, Dexter Lumis, God help us all? Is he going to win the belt?
Be prepared for a new champion. I'm calling it, guys. Dexter Lumis is about to be cradling the North American Championship in his hands. I think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see history made. And I'm going to call it winner and new NXT North American Champion Dexter Lumis. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm with Fletch on this one. I'm going with Dexter Lumis to become the new North American champion because I think it's bound to happen. I mean, would I be surprised if Johnny Gargano retains it? No, I wouldn't be surprised. But in the end, I do have Dexter Lumis winning this one. Florio, it is yours.
Yeah. Recent booking pushes the idea that Dexter Lumis will come out of the Gauntlet Eliminator to face Gargano on night 2 for the North American Championship. Even when Kushida was facing Gargano, it was clear that the creative team had plans for Lumis, as he was a central part of that storyline. If these two face off on the second, and should these two face off on the second night of TakeOver, it should be looked at as the moment in which Lumis is elevated with a title win. However, even in defeat, it would be hard to see the feud being over, as the mid-card for NXT still needs some fleshing out to find a contender worthy of taking that title from Gargano and moving the belt forward. But if it's Gargano, if Lumis wins the Eliminator, he will win the North American title. If it's not Lumis, then I expect Gargano to retain. But we think it's going to be Lumis, so Dexter Lumis will be the new NXT North American champion. 2 matches left. Next up, the ladder match to unify the NXT Cruiserweight Championship of the World. The original champion, Jordan Devlin, who won the title January of 2020, Royal Rumble weekend at that Worlds Collide event, defending against the man who's been carrying the title since the summer on an interim basis, Santos Escobar. So I believe it goes to Bullock here. So Bullock, who's gonna climb the ladder and walk out the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of making of a good ladder match here. I mean, like you said, you got the original champion in Jordan Devlin and the interim champion Santos Escobar. I mean, this is a tough one for me to call, but I'm gonna go with the man who originally was the NXT Cruiserweight champion, and that man is Jordan Devlin. I mean, don't get me wrong, Santos Escobar has been a good champion, but I think there's only room for one NXT Cruiserweight champion. So winner and undisputed NXT Cruiserweight champion, Jordan Devlin. Flory, what's yours?
The introduction of the ladder match by Shawn Michaels was a thing of perfection. 2 champions, both with a legit claim to the title, fighting it out to determine who is the true champion. This should be an excellent match. Devlin and Escobar are 2 of the best on the NXT roster, regardless of weight class. It'll be interesting to see how they innovate on this bout, as it has been done frequently in WWE and especially in NXT. This match should be looked at as an opportunity to elevate both men at the same time. Devlin is the exact archetype that WWE likes to build cruiserweight divisions around. He can work with any opponent put in front of him. Escobar is just as important of a character and a performer, but his run with the cruiserweight title has left something to be desired because he feels like a bigger deal than that. His feud with Karrion Kross, although brief, created the idea that Escobar could easily work as a main event heel in NXT, especially with the other 2 members of Legado del Fantasma by his side. If he were to lose the title in this bout, do not be surprised if Escobar is in the main event picture for the NXT title shortly after. I agree with Bullock. The winner and undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, Jordan Devlin. MF, are we going to make it unanimous once again?
All right. This can go a number of ways. I mean, yes, I understand it. I can feel it, and I would not be shocked if Jordan Devlin would win the title. However, based off what I see and everything that's riding, I'm actually going to go against you 2. I'm actually going to go with Santos Escobar. I think Escobar is going to shock the world. And not only that, but I really feel that I get it, but I really think Legado de la Fantasma is going to get involved. I know. And you're like, no, not with this, not this type of magnitude with everything riding. Devlin had his own problems. The reason why he left or got in trouble was because of an incident that happened. There was like some kind of Me Too movement, and Devlin got caught in a crossfire and was in big trouble. That's why they literally had to force him to strip the title. Then the COVID thing hit, so it was a double whammy. So Devlin was sitting on the sideline, holding on to basically his version of the belt, while Escobar was holding his. Escobar has been a great champion, and I just feel like at this point in the time, I think Santos is going to become undisputed. So for me, and I'm going to lone wolf this, so hold on, Bullock, I'll do it in a second. The winner of the bout, the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, Santos Escobar. Ow! Florio,
Well done, Fletch.
it is all yours.
Again, I say happy WrestleMania week, everybody. All right. Yes. All right. Main event of the main event of the whole thing. NXT Championship on the line. Finn Balor, the champion, defending against the challenger and former champion in his own right, Karrion Kross. Finn Balor's second run in NXT has been a thing of excellence. He has reinvented himself in such a way that his main roster run, where he was the Universal Champion briefly, is looked at in more disbelief than anything else. But Karrion Kross has been the shadow hanging over his title run ever since that belt was strapped on his waist. And WWE has played into that fact, using it as a bit of the story in building this match. Kross and Balor should be a banger of a match. Kross has not done much selling for individuals in one-on-one matches. When he battled all three members of Legado del Fantasma, it took all of them to even put any damage on him. So how will Balor do against Kross on his own? That's the thing to watch for, because it sets the tone for this bout and perhaps what will come next. Balor dropped a line about the Demon during a promo last week, and he has not used that character in 2 years, since WrestleMania 35, when he went up against Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Is it time to bring it back? Perhaps. But to get there, Kross must walk out of this bout with the NXT Championship around his waist. He won the title last summer, TakeOver 30. He beat Keith Lee, but he had to immediately surrender the title due to an injury. He got robbed, and it's because of that he's going to get it back. Winner, and once again, NXT champion, Karrion Kross. And MF, if that's the case, again I say, God help us all with that freak holding that thing.
I hate to say it. I'm with you, Florio. You've been weighed. You've been measured. Finn Balor, you're going to be found. And when it happens, it's either you step up and really fight for your life, or you perish and fall. And that's exactly what Karrion Kross has been doing. He's made a lot of people fall and pray. And this will be, once again, his crowning achievement. The man who got hurt, and the thing is, it's funny, because if you really think about it, the way Karrion Kross has been, it's almost the same pattern that Balor happened. Remember, Balor won the Universal title. He was the first ever Universal Champion, but was never able to defend it because of the fact that he suffered an injury. Karrion Kross won the title, never was able to defend it because of injury, and had to drop it almost immediately. So there's a lot of parallels between the two. Balor's been unfortunate because he never got another shot at the Universal title. He never got a chance to get the belt back. Karrion Kross is. Karrion Kross is getting an opportunity, and I think he will make the most of it. Winner and new NXT champion, Karrion Kross. Mike Bullock, you're the voice of the NXT. It's fitting that you get to talk about the main event on night 2.
Yeah, and all signs are leading towards Karrion Kross regaining a title that he never lost. I mean, Balor's been a really good champion, no doubt about it, but with the way Kross has been built again since coming back from his injury, all signs are leading to him winning it, and I see it happening here. So I'm going to make it unanimous. Winner and new NXT champion, Karrion Kross, and he will make Finn Balor fall and pray. It's yours, Florio.
In closing, I just want to say on behalf of all of us, NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver has a lot of momentum heading into the event starting Wednesday night. Fans should not miss either of the 2 nights of action, as there is a lot on the line, and this card is set up to deliver in every way. So there you have it. So with that, our first show of WrestleMania week is in the books. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We're going to be off for the next couple of days, but we will be back with you on Thursday night for a special Thursday night edition of Thursday Night Mayhem. MF, is it going to be at the usual time, or will it be following night 2 of the Stand and Deliver? Well, anyways, it will be on Thursday night. Thursday night edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem. No Strictly Sports. We're doing it in place of that because of WrestleMania week. On this special edition, we're going to be reviewing AEW Dynamite and NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. Friday night, MF will be hosting once again, like you will on Thursday. He'll be hosting again on Friday, as we will have for Cerebral Smack Talk. Friday night SmackDown, special WrestleMania edition of SmackDown. That fatal 4-way for the tag team titles, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, so much more. And then we will also preview WrestleMania 37. And then Saturday night, night 1, recap of WrestleMania 37. I will be hosting that in place of MF due to work commitments beyond his control. And then Sunday night, night 2, WrestleMania recap. That will be hosted by MF. And then we'll do it all again next week. So enjoy WrestleMania week, everybody. And until Thursday night, for our special Thursday night edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem, this is Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, and in spirit, the Phenom Michael Bullock, the Twisted Angel D.D. Woodson, and always in forever FKG 401 Derek Forever. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune Forest style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days, a blessed few days, and until Thursday night for our special Thursday Night Mayhem, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you and beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.